Yeah, we got it. All right. Perfect. We're live. Right when the doorbell rings. Couldn't be any more convenient. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going?
Welcome to Barrel Buddies.
Welcome to Barrel Buddies. Absolutely welcome to Barrel Buddies. First thing, I do apologize for the ring. We just got our food delivered to us, a little Uber Eats that was over an hour late. So, for those that personally know me, you can obviously tell I'm incredibly tilted already because an hour late's Uber Eats order is probably going to taste like dog shit. So, hi Grace, what's going on? You want to jump in the stream and say hi? Not really. Okay, great. Hey, Tim, how's it going, Tim C?
Who's Tim C?
And Carla says hi to Zach.
Oh, there's Carla.
How's it going?
Good evening, Carla. How are you and Armando? Welcome to the stream.
Welcome to the stream. We're going to give everybody a couple minutes to settle in. We've all kind of personally blasted out on social media that we're starting, so it actually looks like we got quite a few people already, so it's great. It's great. Yeah, so welcome. I guess we'll start with introductions. First things first, we have myself, I'm James, and to the right of me is
Zach.
And joining us remotely with the Rona is
Recovering from the Rona,
BJ.
A strong recovery. What an intro.
We call him Rona BJ. Or
We call him Rona BJ.
Joining us through vid, recovering from vid.
There he is.
Rona BJ.
Joining us through the vid, with the vid.
Right? Again on the iPad.
On the iPad. It's great. We had him on the phone. Hey, Alec. I see Alec just joined us. How you doing, buddy?
Yo.
Get some of my crew joining us, which is great. Yeah, so the first show where BJ had his situation, we had him on the iPhone and the screen looked terrible. So thankfully Grace lent us the iPad and we have BJ in high definition finally.
No longer micro-sized.
No more micro size.
Little BJ. Now we have big
Face.
The
BJ.
iPad for the screen.
Exactly. So iPad's ready for the stream. We're good to go. We are pre-gaming a bit with a little IPA. Cheers from Beer Zombies.
Yeah, it's hot as hell
So
outside.
it's hot. For those that don't know, we're in Vegas, and it is the hottest day so far of the. No, they said the past 2 years. It got up to 116 today.
Today? Oh my god.
Yeah.
And I remember the weather forecast was like 110, and I'm like, it doesn't feel like 110.
No.
116.
Definitely.
Right.
It's melty outside.
Very
It's
melty.
straight up melty.
It is awful. It is. I was out running some errands, hitting up some of the local liquor shops this morning, and even in the morning, like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, it was already 104, and I was like, this sucks. And then I got home, and it's, 6 o'clock now, and I don't even know what they say. What is the weather right now? Let's do a little look up.
105.
105?
113.
Oh, my God, 113!
It's disgusting.
It's going to be like that until
Oh.
like 2 in the morning. Jeez. I mean, it'll start kind of going down around like midnight or so when the earth cools and the sun isn't blasting the Vegas Valley.
Yeah, but 6 o'clock at night, and it's 113.
Hot as hell.
That is awful. For all of you that don't live in the desert, never come to the desert.
Don't worry. Out here in Henderson, where it is close to Lake Mead, it's still a balmy 115.
Oh.
1 degrees less.
All right. Well, so, yeah, for those that joined us, Tim here said we hit 117. Oh, the real feel index in Oklahoma. Oh, yeah, because you guys have humidity.
Right.
Oh, see,
Heat plus humidity.
some of us have some experience being out in Boston, and I can tell you right now, a summer in anywhere that has humidity is you guys have it way worse. Because at least, we say it's a dry heat. It's like you open up an oven and you just feel that blast of heat. But having that humidity, it's so much worse.
Oh, yeah. Like, 20 minutes after you walk outside, you feel like you just took a shower.
Yeah, or you take a shower and you just never dry off.
Never.
You're just sticky and
swamp
wet.
ass all day long. Ugh. No, thank you. Am I right or am I right?
He's right. He's right. He's right. So, for those that joined us on Thursday, we had some technical difficulties. So, believe it or not, I have pretty solid internet here. We have Gigablast. It's usually rock solid, never have issues. And of course, 20 minutes into our Smoke Wagon show, it completely takes a dump on us. The internet, we tried to reconnect, and it didn't happen. So we're doing a Weller show today because we wanted to bring out some of the good stuff and some of the stuff that I know a lot of people have been looking for. So we got two of the Wellers we're going to be doing today. We're doing the Antique 107, which is this guy right here. We'll go into detail in a few minutes. Mm-hmm. And Zach has on his end over there the Weller Special Reserve.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
For those of you that were sad that you might have missed the Smoke Wagon, don't worry, we're going to come back to that.
Definitely.
We will.
We're not going to miss out on that.
Yeah, we talked about a definite revisit of revisiting Smoke Wagon for a couple of reasons. And I think not only because we got cut off mid-show, but there is two of the offerings from Smoke Wagon that we didn't have and I would like to have for our next show. And that was the Desert Jewel and then the Private Barrel Select. So stay tuned for that. I'm sure in a couple weeks here we're going to revisit Smoke Wagon, and then we'll see if maybe we can get a visitor for the Smoke Wagon show.
That'll be an excellent vertical. I'm super
Special visitor.
A special visitor. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Alec on the chat says, can confirm Florida heat unbearable. I hear you, man. You guys are right down there in the thick of it. It's got to be way worse down there.
Yep.
Not only do you guys have to worry about the Rona, but you got to worry about the heat.
Yeah, you got all those visitors coming in for Disney World.
Oh, opening up soon with masks and
They're
everything.
open, aren't they? Open?
Open yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So masks and everything for everybody inside of Disney World.
Yet Florida is our number one hot state for the Rona right now.
Yeah,
and
probably a bad idea. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But, for all the Disney fans,
Got a lot of the fam and friends down in Florida, so
Yeah.
we'll have to just have them keep us updated on how crazy it gets down there.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. Well,
Yeah.
Street Gators.
Sorry, BJ, you can't really see the chat, but we got some chat action. Alex says, don't forget about the Street Gators. Exactly, in Florida.
All them Street Gators. I've never seen a Street Gator. What is a Street Gator versus a regular gator?
So you remember when we were down at the Swan and Dolphin down in Florida? There's just like gators that just wander around the fucking city.
So a gator on the street.
Gator on the streets.
Oh, okay.
It's a street gator.
I thought it may have been a reference to something else.
Or like a hardened gangster gator.
Gangster Gators.
Gangster gator.
Jeez. Street Gator.
BJ, do you know anything about Street Gators?
No, I think my wife does. She grew up in Orlando.
Oh, so yeah.
She's telling me all the time. I think gators, when I see them, so I watch golf all the time, and I see the golfers, especially when they're playing in Florida, they'll run up and they'll tap them on the tail and get them to jump into the water. And I'm like, yeah, I do that. I think that they're dumb, slow animals. But she says, no, they're dangerous. You don't go up to a gator.
So, yeah, not to deviate from our whiskey show here, but gators are pretty fast. I mean, I'm sure we have some people here that can attest to that, but I don't know that you can just kind of walk up to one and then you see it and then you kind of run away. I think it's going to chase you.
I actually have a picture of myself at a Florida gator farm with me petting an alligator.
Wow.
Have you seen that before?
I don't remember that.
I will have to show you.
You have to break it out.
Oh, maybe I'll bring it on the show.
See, if only you had it now, we could pop it up on the show.
Like, there it is.
Show
There's Zach Kyle with an alligator. What's
Zach
he
with
doing?
his gator.
Here's what I want to do. Let's post that to our Twitter account. This is
We
a
will.
great time for us to talk about. Follow us on Twitter. We'll post that to the Twitter feed, and then we'll put it up on our website, thebarrelbuddies.com, so that all of you guys can see this.
Zach with a gator.
Zach with the gator. Zach with the
Absolutely.
Gators. All right, so back to whiskey, right? All right.
Is that what the show's about?
I think that's what we thought about it. Except we got completely sidetracked, and we're talking about street gators and the heat
In Disneyland.
and Disney World.
Or Disney World.
Disney World.
And the Swan and Dolphin.
So Weller, let's jump into Weller.
Jump in.
It's super hypey. Super, people got the FOMO about Weller. You don't
Good
really.
reason.
Okay, I'm gonna say sure for the value, for the price, if you can find it, right? Because you're looking at we'll go through it. So Weller has a couple of offerings in their lineup, right? And we'll kind of start at the ground level, which, if I'm not mistaken, is Weller's Special Reserve.
That's
it,
that's the introductory.
Zach, you want to
Bourbon.
throw the bottle up there to the camera a little bit and let people
Absolutely.
see?
Here we
You
are.
Get it up there.
Special
Ooh.
Reserve. It's a little.
If you're buying this,
Yeah, there we go.
at Total Wine,
I see it.
or your local liquor store, you're paying $29 to $31, $32.
Yeah, I mean $30. We're gonna move our lighting around so you guys can get it up to the camera a little bit if you can. That'd be great. Look at that. All right, Weller. We'll post some fact. Yeah.
And if you don't know about it, you can Google it. It's right there.
All right.
But what's the aftermarket on that? So $30 if you get it.
So that
If you can get it, and then aftermarket.
Yeah.
It's secondary price at what?
$100 to $150.
Super hard to find. I never see it at Total Wine.
No. So it's usually released seasonally, but with the Rona situation, especially in Vegas, and I know I mentioned this during our first show, but one thing about Vegas is that we're in the middle of the desert, right? So we don't get a lot of like distribution compared to like a Los Angeles or New York City or, Miami or some big drink, like in a city where I associate a lot of like heavy drinkers. Like we don't get that type of distro, and everyone's like, what are you guys talking about? You guys are Vegas. Like, you should get that distro. The casinos, I would say, lock down 90% of any cool stuff, any cool whiskey. Not only whiskey, any cool anything from tequila, vodka, whatever. They always get first dibs just because of their buying power, right? I mean, you have these casinos that, can swoop in and say, we got the beach club opened up, we'll take 1,000 bottles of your Grey Goose, but also give us all that extra. We'll take 1,000 bottles of your Grey Goose, but also give us all that extra rare shit you guys have, and we'll sell it for $30 a pour, and everybody will buy it because it's a casino, and then people are on vacation and they don't care what price they spend.
Oh yeah.
And then your local shop. So like we have a few local shops and a few big box liquor stores, and they get a case at the end of the day, like a case or two of something, and a case has like 6 bottles in it.
And it's gone within an hour.
Yeah,
Easy.
like let's say 3 to 12 bottles in a case on average of some like rare-ish whiskey. So it's tough. Like the hunt in Vegas is tough. With that being said, Weller is one of those that you really have to like stay on top of social media, stay in your local groups, chat with your local, liquor store people, make friends, and that's fun. I mean, that's what a lot of this is about, is making friends and talking to people about whiskey. And we've always said that's what like whiskey's kind of about, is it's for sharing. And don't leave a bunch of shit on the shelf and not drink it. Like, crack these bottles open. Like, that's what we're doing today. Like I said I wanted to have a Weller show, because this is Zach's only bottle of Antique 107. I unfortunately have a few, but they're boxed up right now. We're in the process of moving, but we're gonna crack these open. We're gonna drink them. We're gonna drink them with you guys on the show. So that's the plan.
The point, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole point of having good whiskey is to drink it, share it, explore it, appreciate it. Don't be a tater.
Don't be a
leave it on
tater.
a shelf.
Yeah, it's nothing to be admired. I mean, admire the whiskey, but still drink it. This isn't something. It's not a trophy to look at. It's something to share with your friends. It's a great thing. One thing I actually wanted to pull.
Really quick, Michael Brown, how's it going, buddy? It's been a while.
Yo.
Welcome.
Weller actually has.
Oh, great. So
Yep.
Zach pulled up the list. So we're going to talk about the different offerings that Weller has. And we only have two. Like, there's a couple that I've never even seen in the wild or am able to get a hold of. So what do we got? What's on the list there?
Yeah, so we went to Buffalo Trace.
Yep.
At Trace's website, and it looks like the first on the list is the William LaRue Weller Full Proof. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
The blue label.
The blue label.
Blue
okay.
label, Weller. It's out there. It actually just came out the past couple of weeks ago. I haven't.
Oh, so it's new.
No, it's not new. I mean, like for the season.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So it's out there. I don't have a bottle of it.
Okay.
Really tough to get a hold of. Aftermarket on that sucker is like $400, but it retails for like $70.
I will keep an eye out for it.
Yeah.
Next thing, Special Reserve. We already kind of went through that.
Yep, we have Special Reserve with us today.
The William LaRue Weller 12-year.
12 years. So that's another hyped one. So that's the black label.
Yep.
I have a few bottles of that. We'll break it out when we do another Weller show. But a lot of people reference that as like the poor man's Pappy, the poor man's Old Rip. So there's an infamous recipe online, which you can find on the internet if you do a little bit of digging, of somebody. And I'm just going to explain this, but I'll tell you my opinion after the fact. Somebody out there put together some recipe, mixing a couple bottles to recreate what Pappy tastes like, or Old Rip. I'm sorry, people interchange the name, get it confusing, whatever. So for those people that can't or don't know, but like Old Rip or Pappy Van Winkle is kind of like the unicorn of.
Back here or no?
I have one. I have the box, and I don't know if it's in the box. Do you have a little knife? Can you grab a little knife?
Yeah.
So I have a. Well, that doesn't help. I have an Old Rip Van Winkle box, but I don't know what's in this. Is an Old Rip in here?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta get a knife to open it.
Oh yeah, it is. It is perfect. Okay, great. Oh, conveniently.
Very good.
Oh, he just conveniently has one of them ready to go.
The Rip was in the Rip box.
So this is the Old Rip Van Winkle, for those that can see it. And it's like one of the unicorns of bourbon. This is like a true bourbon from Bourbon County, Kentucky.
Be careful with that.
Yeah, I did clang it against the little ashtray there. Trust me, if it broke open, I'd be licking it off the floor. So anyway,
We'd be softening it up with a sponge.
Right. Squeeze it back into the bottle.
yeah. So stuff like that, there's some people that get lucky and find it on the shelf for $80. I think the Old Rip retails for like $129 or something really affordable. But on secondary market, $400 to $600. Like
If you can find it retail.
If
I mean, how often does that happen?
rarely. Most places will have like a raffle. Like most liquor stores will raffle it off to like some of their loyal customers. They do like drawings at their store. But anyway, with it being so rare, people are like, well, how do we come up with something that tastes like it? So some jamoke, I don't know, some clown came up with some apparent poor man's version of it. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think we're kind of formulating a show where we compare the poor man's blend
I think we
To-
got something in
to the Old
production
Rip.
right now.
I think we just put together one of our next shows.
There we go.
So anyway, the Weller 12 year is very tough to find because that one is used for poor man's Pappy and it tastes really good. So what they say, like the community, the bourbon community, is that anything that doesn't make it into a Rip Van Winkle bottle just turns into Weller 12. It's basically like the rejected second of Old Rip, which to me, Old Rip is spectacular, so I'll take a second any day for half the price.
And it can't be that far off.
It can't be.
You know.
Let's be honest here. I mean,
If it's coming from the same kettle, if it's being distilled in the same way.
it's sitting in the same barrels that they're putting some into one type of bottle and they're putting some into another.
Yeah, it didn't meet the 1% or whatever it is.
Exactly.
So-
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to make up.
So
for
what's
it.
next on the list there after the Weller 12?
The William LaRue Weller CYPB. So I'm going to guess. What was it?
Craft your perfect bourbon.
Perfect
So,
bourbon. I almost had it.
Weller CYPB. It's a white label. You can find it out.
Doers?
What's that?
Doers?
Doers. Oh,
No, not like Doers at all.
It was funny. James was sending me. James was sending me a text about Doers one day, and he said that autocorrect changed Doers into sewers. And I'm like, you know what? That is not that far off. Well, Doers white anyway. I don't know about the rest.
Exactly. So it's got a really cool story for those that don't know. So Buffalo Trace a few years back put together like a giant survey, okay, and they're like, hey, and this was before they even said they were going to make a bourbon out of it. They said we're just going to give you we're throwing out a survey. We want to know what you guys, like the community, thinks is your version, your interpretation of a perfect bourbon. So what they asked were questions like, if you made a bourbon, like you brewed it, where would you age it? And they gave you like the location of like the barrel house, the rick house, and they're like, do you want it on the top floor? Do you want it in the middle? Do you want it in like the bottom floor? And then like they talked about like the flavor profiles you were looking for, and you kind of had to like select like different flavors you'd click on, whatever.
And this is all at the Buffalo Trace distillery.
Exactly, yes. So this is all at the Buffalo Trace distillery. And then they would ask, okay, well, then how many years do you want to age it? And they'd give you like 4 or 5 different options. And they got like 30 or 40,000 people to respond to this survey, which is like, that's a huge amount of people. So survey was closed. They let some time go by. All of a sudden, they make this big announcement. Hey, guys, based on your survey results, drum roll, we're going to CYPB, craft your perfect bourbon. This is what you guys on the survey want. And they proceeded to make that. And it's out there. It's on a nice white and gold label. It looks very similar to like the Weller. It's just white and gold. And
looks like it's an 8-year.
An 8-year?
Yep. 95 proof.
95 proof. I unfortunately have never been able to get a hold of a bottle.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it in the wild, not even at a secondary price. So secondary pricing is around $400 to $500 for that, but retail is like $129. Very affordable if you can find it at MSRP, which I've never seen it. I would like to get my hands on it. I hope we can one day.
Absolutely.
We'll test it out. We'll do another Weller show with everything.
I will keep an eye out, as you will too.
Yeah. So moving on, what's next on our list for Wellers?
So the WL Weller single barrel. Could that be the introductory?
No, so the single barrel is new.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm not mistaken, the single barrel was introduced this year, and it's an orange label. And it's just as the name says, it's a single barrel offering of Weller. Yep, we're pulling up their site here. Yeah, there is like a little gold. It's like a poo brown Weller. Weller,
yeah,
you gotta step up your color.
Yeah, this is like a poo
orange color.
Yeah.
Maybe show your phone to the camera here.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. It's very odd.
It's a weird like poo orange.
I mean, I guess you'll be able to know what it is when you see it. But it's
so
orange.
Tim C says his local store back in NY has it for $5.99. The CYPB.
Wow. So definitely not the
perfect example though, right? That's secondary pricing. That's these little mom and pop shops like just gouging their customers. Like, come on, like, give me a break. So It's $129 MSRP, which you can report them to Buffalo Trace, by the way, but I don't think they really do anything. They claim they'll pull their distro to that liquor store if you report them. But who wants to be a narc, A, and B, do you really think that they do that? I don't think so. Maybe. I mean, that's kind of like a hot topic, too, is like reporting some of these, like, because there's some very famous people on Instagram, like very famous liquor stores around the country that just make a killing on secondary pricing.
Oh yeah, because people, I mean, they believe that that's what the price
Oh,
of
yeah.
the bottle should be.
I mean-
but it really isn't.
Yeah, I bet you could probably, like, if some places were offering CYPB for $3.99, I bet it would be sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
Seriously, like it's not secondary. The secondary markets are like just a beast in itself. I mean, it not only affects the whiskey and bourbon market, but every market out there. I mean, beer is another prime example. I mean, you have some beers being released down in, like, we're using an example of like Southern California, like some of the
Blanton's for sure.
we'll get to that. Yeah. So
Totally.
Michael Brown says Blanton's way overpriced.
Oh.
Absolutely. My first couple bottles of Blanton's were $39.95, $40. Fantastic price.
Yeah.
Fantastic for the
I mean,
I would pay $40 for a bottle of Blanton's any day. Nowadays, like, if you can find it, first of all, they've raised the price, so it's in like the upper 60s, which
I think,
kind of makes it in that price point where I don't want to spend.
well, the one that I stumbled upon at Total Wine was 64, I believe. But-
But I think that's starting to push it. I think 64 is kind of like that price point where you're like,
Yeah, and you kind of, but then you also think you're like, it's Blanton's, right? You never see it. It's hyped. Whiskey is hyped now, right?
yeah,
Whiskey
it
and
is.
bourbon is hyped. But yeah, no, I agree. You know, if you were paying $40 for it, what?
Right. Yeah, if you're paying 40 to 60, sure. But, booze prices go up, things get popular, prices go up.
Collecting the top.
Yeah, so collecting the tops, Michael Brown in the chat. So that's that's actually a good story. I don't want to pivot too much to that and talk about the Blanton's tops, but we'll have to have another Blanton's show where we actually talk about that. But you collect the tops. If you look right here in the back leg of the horse, there's a letter that spells Blanton's. You collect all of Blanton's, all those letters, and then you can mail them to Buffalo Trace. And what they do is they will mail you back a stave from the barrel, and they put each one of those toppers like in it, and then it's like engraved, and it's got some message on it, and it's this whole
yeah.
presentation.
It's badass.
It's badass,
really
and they
cool.
send it to you for free.
Yep.
That's
Like
so cool.
it's like one of those hidden gem stories of a distillery just doing some really cool stuff for people. And yeah, I got to see. I probably have I can probably spill out a Blanton's.
You think you have them all?
Let's get it done.
Yeah, we'll have to do that because that'll showcase the bar.
The buzzkill here, but I'm really dying to get.
Yes.
All right.
Sorry, we're really doing a lot of story time here. So
Well-
Zach's gonna pour us out. We're gonna jump right into Special Reserve, really quick. So there's single barrel. While Zach's pouring, we're gonna let him pour. So there's the single barrel that's $60, $70, whatever MSRP. But then we have the BTAC, Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, the Big Dog, William LaRue Weller. That's like,
I went a little heavy.
What is this one? I don't think this is a William LaRue. No, this is my George T. Stagg.
Yeah, that's Stag.
This is a Stagg.
That's your other antique.
It's my other Buffalo
Yeah,
Trace antique collection. So the William
multiple.
LaRue Weller looks very similar to this bottle.
I was with you when we found that.
Yeah,
in,
dude, we
El
found it
Cerrito.
down at El Cerrito Liquors.
That was amazing. That was an
Down-
amazing find.
Yeah, down at Southern California.
They have some great stuff there.
Yeah.
to find a Weller
We
down
love
there.
El Cerrito.
We love El Cerrito.
El Cerrito.
Shout out to El Cerrito Liquors down in SoCal. You guys are the bomb. You always have some awesome stuff down there.
Absolutely.
So Zach just poured us some Special Reserve.
Yep.
Well, hold on. Let me backtrack real quick. that's the lineup. That's the William LaRue Weller lineup.
For some reason in that list, the Antique 107 wasn't in there. I don't know why.
What?
It was really weird.
Weird.
Yeah. Here, see? Full proof, Special Reserve, 12 year, CYPV.
Single barrel and
and the
William
Biggie.
LaRue Weller.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe this is.
Maybe that's a sign that they're going to discontinue 107.
Wow.
Dun dun dun. Who
Dun,
knows?
dun, dun. Please don't do that.
Yeah.
Buffalo Trace.
Please don't do that.
We enjoy 107.
Right.
We're gonna enjoy it tonight.
Okay.
We are.
So we, as you know, we've had to get very creative. Well, as you probably don't know, we've had to get creative to get BJ our samples for the show. So we've had to do like Zach has had to do like special delivery and like basically leave it on his door and like knock on the door and run right on his porch.
Bourbon delivery.
And
I sent him a little text. They say the package is at your front door, and I'm sure BJ gets all giddy and says, "Oh, there it is."
I get so excited.
Do you?
So,
I was hoping so.
we thankfully we have some taster bottles.
Yep.
We've poured a few for BJ so he can sit here and drink Special Reserve with us.
Little 2-ounce bottles.
Little 2-ounce bottles. And Zach just poured this, and this smells incredible.
It's got a great nose. I mean, I could just smell this for days.
You know, and out of all the Wellers, this one I think gets like the worst rap, Special Reserve. Like, it doesn't get a lot of hype. But this deserves some hype, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, what a nose. I mean,
Honey.
I'm getting so much. Yeah, I mean, there's some great, like,
honeysuckle flair.
Ripened fruit.
I'll just say that after we drink
getting some
it.
great, like, dried peaches, dried apricot, like this nice.
Lot of dried fruit.
It's so nice.
So, I know we've said this before on previous shows, right? Should we go through the proper way to smell and
Every
really,
show
and really get
Yes.
that nose again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
BJ, go ahead.
Yeah, well, thank you there, Zach.
I would think that you would be very good.
So when you're taking a whiskey, you really do want to take it in much like a wine, and you want to start preparing your palate by taking the nose or really developing the smell. And what you'll notice is as you do that, you're going to begin to develop some flavor here in the back of your palate. So you want to really take that glass left to right, right to left again.
We should do it.
And you want to inhale, mostly through your nose, but keep your mouth open. You want to bring some oxygen in and work some oxygen into what you're taking in with the nose there, and start thinking about some things that that you're reminded of. Maybe sometimes what I just said was I'm reminded of this great vanilla, honey, and then those dry fruits. Like when you open up a package of dried apricot, you get that kind of sweet, just dried fruit smell.
Wow, it's very
kinda
sweet.
funky,
Mm-hmm.
Very sweet.
right? And so you start thinking that sometimes you get tobacco or you get a dried leather, a tanned leather. I don't get that on this one at all. This is very sweet.
It's very like candy.
Floral.
I get a lot of candy.
Very
in there.
candy. Yeah,
Butterscotch, perhaps.
definitely butter. I get butterscotch.
Maybe.
Werther's
I'm not
Original.
getting it.
Werther's Original.
See, I think it's a lot brighter than that.
A Weller's
so once you
Original.
Feel like you got your, once you feel like you've got your palate developed there, give it a little swirl. Again, work a little oxygen in there. Move that ethanol off of the top that's been evaporating since you poured, and take a good taste.
Cheers.
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 Yeah, that's fantastic.
Wow.
It's like butter. I love it.
Wow.
I mean,
I love
and,
it.
and James, you were trying to say, yeah, it's okay for the price. It's kind of hyped. It's fantastic. Yeah, this is a great whiskey.
Absolutely.
What a pour.
This is great. This
What a
is
finish. I mean, this is a finish
yeah.
that just sticks with you. Again, tons of vanilla. So like that flavor of pure vanilla extract for me, it just lingers in the back of the palate.
I mean, what would you say? It starts with the honey. Very, very
Yeah.
lots of honey. I taste a lot of honey. Honey
It's
butter,
almost-
honey and
Almost
butterscotch,
like a gamey honey, like a wild honey.
like a desert
And
honey.
it does. It finishes really smooth, very buttery. I think buttery is a great one. Like I get that smooth buttery, and that's going to come from the oak that it's been sitting in. We're getting that from the time it's been aged in the cask.
I'm getting a lot of like honeysuckle flair.
Yeah, I think the floral. I think that's where some of that floral note comes from. It's a good summer whiskey.
There's a lot of flair to that. A lot of honeysuckle flair.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then after you've like taken a couple sips, we like 3. 3 is our recommended because the first one's going to be a shock to your palate. Your second one is going to smooth out. That third sip is really going to be the real, true taste.
Right.
Go back to the nose because now it's permeated your palate. I mean, it's all in there. Go back to that nose. Go back to some of those flavors and those scents that you were thinking about, and revisit what it is that you were trying to find. It's half the fun in tasting and reviewing and enjoying a good whiskey or a bourbon or any spirit really is it's kind of going back and digging into that complexity and really digging in. Trying to figure out what it is that you like or maybe don't like. Hopefully, it's mostly like about what you're drinking.
One thing to mention too is that at 45%, at 90 proof, it's very approachable.
Easy. Yep.
So this is coming in at what Blanton's comes in at. So if you're used to drinking Blanton's, this is not going to, punch you in the face with some alcohol burn. This is going to taste very similar heat wise, but has a totally different flavor profile.
Yeah. A lot more honey.
A lot more honey. It's more lighter. It's more lighter, mellow, floral, buttery. That honey, the honey is definitely coming through. I'm gonna say that's probably like number one on this guy. But
what's interesting is like with a lot of with these flavors, they carry over into different whiskeys too. Once you've tasted honey, bourbons and whiskeys, right? And once you've tasted honey, you know what honey tastes like. Once you've had butterscotch, you know what butterscotch tastes like. So you can pick it out, each individual one. I mean, have a what am I trying to say? Try a bunch of different whiskeys. Try a bunch of different bourbons. Yeah. See if you can pick them apart. It's a lot of fun.
Don't be afraid to, saying that, I would say don't be afraid to have some of those things with you when you're trying different whiskeys, different bourbons. James brought up having Werther's. Don't be afraid to have a couple of pieces of Werther's caramel candy.
Oh, to compare it with, absolutely.
Yeah.
See if you can pick that out. If you've got some honey when you're going to be doing this, get some honey on a plate. Like, don't be afraid to grab a toothpick or a small spoon and get that in your mouth. Like, familiarize yourself with those flavors because not everybody has that cognitive ability to recall it, as strong as maybe you'd like. And maybe you sit there and you guess, right? You're taking the guess, you're stabbing at it, and you're like, oh yeah, no, that's honey, But you might be going, I don't freaking know. It tastes like whiskey. But don't be afraid to have a little with you when you can, to develop that cognitive recall.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like it's a big misnomer, but taste is not. Taste is learned. So
you can't read it on the internet.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to read it on the internet of what a taste is. You need to taste it for yourself, and everybody's palates are different. Everybody's sensory, olfactory senses and their smell and their taste are different. So when you have something like this, what your brain does is it associates. So you associate stuff that you've like food and other drink that you've had in the past to what you're drinking now. Because if it's something that you didn't know what it is, your brain isn't going to recognize it. You're not going to be like, oh, this is a this is a violet. I'm just throwing something out there. I'm trying to think. Do you know what I mean, though? Do you know what I mean? Like, BJ, like, help me out here. Like, it's something like you gotta.
It's a context thing. So
exactly.
Your brain is going to what it knows. I should have done a little research on this, but I'd be glad to present on this for the next show.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a scientific name behind this, and there's probably some research on it that your ability to put context behind what you know or don't know. It's probably what makes you okay with certain things and not okay with certain things. For instance, eating those street gators, they probably taste like chicken, so you're all right to eat them. But if it didn't taste like chicken, you probably wouldn't want to eat it. Probably you got to be a developed or an acquired taste. We hear that all the time. Oh, it's an acquired taste. Well, it's acquired because you've got to teach your brain that it's a flavor that you like, and you've got to get a flavor that you're used to. So that's why you kind of pick out some of these flavors that you're reminded of, because it helps you get into it a little better. I think that's probably what we're talking about. But I'll do a little research. I'd be glad to talk to the world and our 7 subscribers about what that is.
And it's going back to the with the flavors. You kind of wonder what goes into a barrel to produce those flavors. Is it a certain type of barrel? Is there different ingredients? And like in previous shows, we kind of explained that a lot of whiskey is in bourbon. It all starts off with one product, MGP, right, which is mass produced, and a lot of distilleries use this MGP product to create their bourbon or their whiskey. So it depending on the distillery, whatever barrels they're using, different places in the country that they're at, whether it's humid, whether it's dry, hot, cold, that definitely affects the
You're
flavors.
absolutely right.
Like in
You're absolutely right.
like here in Las Vegas with what is it, Smoke Wagon, right? Their bourbon, their whiskey is going to taste quite a bit different from like a Weller, right? Just because of the environment in which it's being barrel aged, right? And then also, whatever adjuncts that they may add to their product.
Yeah.
Right.
No, 100%. And a lot of it, you're right. It goes back to that barrel. So the barrel really is the magic that creates these things that we drink. That's ground point zero for giving these special characters. Anyone will tell you that. Is it an American oak barrel or is it a French oak barrel? And really and truly, those two things can really change the flavor profile of a beverage. And then a lot has to do too then how that barrel is treated throughout the aging process and the time that it's aged, because you've got the exposure to the interior of the barrel. You've got the char level of the interior of the barrel.
The breathing. We're doing the breathing thing.
How does it breathe?
The barrel respiration, right?
In and out.
And then, so one of the things that some of the producers have been doing is they've actually been putting router lines in the staves of the barrel. So instead of just leaving the stave as this flat interior, they're actually grooving. They're putting grooves on the interior of the stave, and what that's
More
doing,
surface area.
It's exposing more surface area
I did not know that.
to what's inside, and so through the barrel respiration process, now you're exposing that product.
We're doing the breathing with you. We're doing the breathing.
You're doing that respiration with me, and so that changes, right? Because now you could be doubling the surface area. That's like doubling the respiration, doubling the time in that barrel for half of the time.
You get a lot more oak. You get a lot more. You get a lot more barrel complexity that's absorbed, by the bourbon and whiskey.
And then depending on where you're keeping it too, I mean, Zach, you hit the nail on the head there. And we were talking about that whole Weller Craft Your Perfect Bourbon. On those ricks, is it down below where it's catching morning mist? Yep. Is it up high where it's catching more heat of the day and it's becoming a little more concentrated? Was it a dry period? Was it a wet period? Are we getting more of the of the environment coming in and out of that barrel? I mean, you might recall back to when we were in high school. I remember doing this science project with Ziploc plastic bags where you put like blue dyed water in the plastic bag, and then you put yellow dyed water in the bucket outside of the plastic bag, and the next thing you know, the interior of the plastic bag is green. And it's because of the respiration through the bag. It's the same process with the barrel. So
Absorption.
that's how you get that change.
The scientific term is osmosis.
Yes.
So that's the travel of the molecules, the water molecules, through the plastic lining. So
Thank you, Zach. So we get a little whiskey osmosis.
All right, we're going to get back on track because I want to cut this and see what we're looking at here.
You've already cut yours. I see.
I just cut mine. So for those that don't know, I've taken my wonderful Kirkland branded water here.
It's fine brand.
Cheers, Kirkland. And we've basically poured out 1 cap of water and added that to our whiskey, our bourbon.
It's interesting how it changes it. The mouthfeel changes. You get different flavors. You get a different perception of the bourbon.
So it's turned a lot brighter. Like I'm getting a lot more. Wow. A lot more that it turned into like a melon bomb for me. I don't know if you guys are getting that, but I added a cap of water and it's like melon central, like cantaloupe, honeydew.
Maybe it's more like a honeysuckle flare.
No, it's not a honeysuckle flare at all anymore.
Not a honeysuckle flare.
Nope.
Okay.
All right, so cutting it with a little water. So a lot of people will tell you that
I get that honeydew.
water,
Okay.
you're going to expand. You're going to open up some of that concentrate and bring it back to some of its original. That maybe it had been lost.
Yeah, so I'm getting a lot of wow.
So the nose changes. It does. The nose opens up quite a bit.
Yeah.
I just get like a melon bomb.
Yeah.
I get a ton of ethanol. Like adding water to it to me has really expanded that ethanol, that burn, that alcohol smell.
That'll come off. Give it a minute. Do a little swirl around. That'll get that ethanol off of
No,
there.
I'm getting the honeydew as well. The honeydew honeysuckle. Maybe it's just honey, and we're just adding.
No,
dew.
I'm getting melon. I'm getting melon.
Well, honeydew is a melon.
That's why I said honeydew and cantaloupe.
Melon.
Okay, melon. Jesus.
Technically, cantaloupe that we eat here in the United States isn't actually cantaloupe; it's
muskmelon. I did not know
yeah,
that.
nobody wants to call it muskmelon.
Hey, you know what? You know what I could go for? A muskmelon.
I don't know.
Muskmelon for breakfast.
Oh,
Yeah. Do you have a fruit tray that includes muskmelon?
ooh! Tonight our dessert special of the evening is muskmelon souffle.
That
sounds
awful.
What's the stinky fruit again? What's it
Durian.
called? Durian. Yeah, it's like I would like a plate of durian, uncut, unfiltered, straight from the tree.
I don't particularly care for this with a little water. I liked it better.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I would rather drink this straight up.
yeah. Some I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the higher proof whiskeys and bourbons may
Need to be cut?
Well, maybe that benefits a little bit more from the cutting of this.
It reminds me of a brandy. So I think these fruited flavors that you're getting.
Oh, it makes it sweet. That's what we're thinking.
I think it makes it. I think you're right. I think it does make it really, really sweet. But it's totally reminding me of drinking like a brandy.
Yeah,
Extra sweet.
I would
So the
definitely keep
cantaloupe,
that.
The melon.
Yeah, I would keep that neat. Definitely.
I mean, it's still good. It's still a great drink, but to me, I can't appreciate it as much as I was before we added a little water.
So it's interesting you bring that up because a lot of people are like, I want my bourbon or whiskey on the rocks. That's the only way they want to drink it, which is ridiculous to me. But whatever.
Yeah, because it mutes the flavors.
Right,
That means,
well-
that means you hate your whiskey. No, I'm just kidding.
So here's the
Feel it.
thing: like, if you put this on an ice cube, this special reserve, you're going to get the flavors that we got when we cut it, which I don't think are better. Like, I think you're going to appreciate this better, neat, straight.
I agree.
Definitely.
So this is the time where we talk about. We're gonna give it a 1 to 10 each of us. I'm not ready. I need a minute. I'm still kind of stewing on this one. If any of you are ready, jump in. But I need a minute.
I think what was it? 2 weeks ago during our Elijah Craig show.
Yep.
What did I give Elijah Craig? Did I give it an 8?
I don't think we rated Elijah Craig. So
No, we did. Yeah.
Zach, you gave the small batch an 8, and you gave the barrel proof a 9.
Okay. I remember this now.
I think I really, really enjoyed Elijah Craig.
So good.
I mean,
Elijah Craig. By the way, everybody, Elijah Craig.
Weller's amazing. I am a fan. I like the Special Reserve. But I've also had our other offering beforehand tonight as well, the 107. The Special Reserve, I will give it a 7.
Okay.
And just because I'm basing this off of like our first show with the Elijah Craig show, where it seemed like Elijah Craig had a lot more complexity to it. It seemed like
Which one? The barrel proof?
actually both of them.
Okay.
The single
Small batch
single or small batch and the barrel proof.
Yep.
I think both of them had extreme complexity to them.
They did. And especially for reconnecting. We reconnected.
What happened?
We're showing we reconnected. We're on. We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay. Sorry about that. We're going. I don't know where we stopped, but we were talking about our ratings, our 1 to 10, and for affordability. And if you can find Weller out there for MSRP, it's totally worth it, in my opinion. We were just talking about Elijah Craig.
Yeah.
So, always available, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
All their offerings. 7 out of 10.
So 1 out of 10, I would say I would give it a 7. Yeah.
Okay.
So I give it a 7. It's a solid bourbon.
It is.
It's great. I like it. It's great. I like. Not to go back. I don't mean to go back to Elijah Craig.
Go back.
But I thought that Elijah Craig was a lot more complex. So there was a lot more of the flavors
Stuff going on.
Yeah, the flavors. I enjoyed the Elijah Craig flavors versus the Weller.
Yeah.
Special Reserve, but we'll have to see what comes with the Antique 107.
Exactly.
That may be completely different. So
BJ.
7 out of 10.
So here's what I tell our watchers and viewers. Listen, if you got your chance to get your hands on this, get your hands on it. I wouldn't pay more than $60 for a bottle of this. I think the $30 is a steal. I think this is $30 for this bourbon is a killer deal. I'd be willing to pay $60 for this bottle of bourbon to keep in my stash in my bar. It definitely has a little bit of hype, but I think that's one of the things that makes it cool and fun to share with friends and family, and definitely with yourself. It's one of those things that I think that you can reward yourself on a Friday or something with. And I would give it a solid 7. I agree with Zach. I think this is a good 7 out of 10. It's straightforward. It's not terribly complex. Makes it really approachable. If you see it at a menu in a fine restaurant, pick it up. Treat yourself to a pour. And if you see it in a store where you can pick it up, treat yourself to a pour. Definitely worth it.
Excellent. Awesome. All right. So, Weller's Special Reserve. Jimmy Jam's rating. I'm torn here, and I'm not torn because I'm torn because of this. I'm close to agreeing with you guys, but I'm debating whether or not I want to go a notch higher or a notch lower. So we're doing halves. So I think I'm going to come in for Weller.
It does taste like a Werther's.
It does. Weller Special Reserve. 6.5 for me. I'm going to give it a 6.5. I think
Slipping it under the door.
I think that for the money, if you can find it MSRP at $40, it's good. It's good. I don't believe that there was a ton of complexity to it. To Zach's point, Elijah Craig had a lot more to offer for the same price. I'm kind of basing it off of that, so I'm going to stick with the 6.5.
Okay.
I felt as if honeydew, melon, and butterscotch were kind of all I got. That's my special reserve rating, 6.5. And who knows? I mean, we may drink this 107 right now and be blown away. But
Could be. Can I just time out? I have to give a special shout out
yes.
to two of my all-time favorite people.
Okay, who do you got?
Who are joining us tonight. I want to give a shout out to Arlisle and to Chainsaw Paul Schultz. I love you, F-words. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome to the show, everybody. It's a pleasure. We had quite a few viewers at one point right now.
What's an F word?
You got it. If you don't know,
Oh,
Fun guy.
fun guy. It's a fun guy. All right, so our glasses are clean, Zach.
yeah, are you ready to pour this one?
We're going to Antique 107, so we're gonna jump right into this Weller Antique 107.
I'm excited.
I'll
Very
do the
excited.
pour here for this one. We're pouring here behind the curtain here. Be a little patient with us, folks.
Gotta save my other half here so that we can cut it here a little bit.
So I don't know much about this one. So this one is obviously it's 107 proof. Captain Obvious here. They call it Antique 107. It's coming in at 53.5%. So compared to the Special Reserve, it's going to be a lot more heat. So the Special Reserve is 90 proof at 45% alcohol, the green guy that we just finished. Where now we're turning our attention onto the 107, which is 53.5 at 107 proof. So interesting.
So here's what the old interwebs has to say about Weller Antique 107.
What do you got?
And by interwebs, I mean Buffalo Trace says this.
Yeah.
A wheated bourbon with a full-bodied flavor and a balanced palate. Old Weller Antique is bottled at 107 proof, offering a complex taste and bold finish. It's certainly a recognizable member of the Weller label with its own unique characteristics to complement the high proof, sweet and unusual floral notes, and coupled with vanilla. The taste is well balanced with sweet fruit notes, strong vanilla undertone, and sharp, spicy tones with a cinnamon finish.
Oh, interesting.
I almost didn't want you to tell us that.
Well, you know what? I kind of like knowing that a little bit.
Like what you're supposed to be.
I actually get rye spices in this. To me, it's
I haven't even smelled it.
more like a rye.
Whoa. So here's the thing. It's a bit higher proof. I was expecting to get a bit more of the smell once we poured it, but I really didn't. It seems a little muted.
But you don't get the ethanol, though.
I don't get ethanol.
No, I don't know
I
why.
get rye and spice.
Yeah, I get spice for sure. So like when we gotta like kind of
This is like
explain to the audience here.
Yeah, I'm thinking like cinnamon spice, right?
Cinnamon spice, like those
Pumpkin
cinnamon.
pie spice.
Oh,
What are those?
there you
What
go.
are those? What are the fucking cinnamon candies at the movie theater?
Red
Hot
hot.
tamales.
Hot tamales. Hot tamales.
There
So
you
I
go.
get
Red
wow.
hot.
I get hot tamales. Like hot tamales. Like I just bit into one of those at the movie theater. For the people out there that are watching,
Yeah.
Weller Antique 107. The first like smell, I get that red hot, that hot tamale.
You do the right to left.
Yeah, I'm getting hot tamale. So I'm getting
Cinnamon.
I'm getting the hot tamale, the cinnamon, and then I'm getting the rye, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, rye is it's a very particular.
Which
smell.
is it's a weeded bourbon, which I don't know why I'm getting like. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'm confusing that for just spice, like overall spice.
No, I'm with you. I get the rye. To me, this smells like a rye whiskey. It's that dark, edgy, spicy black pepper, spicy smell that really does give way more to a nice,
Do a little swirl, get some of that
spicy
ethanol.
cinnamon. Warm cinnamon.
Do a little. So we're doing a little swirl around. We're going to let some of that ethanol evaporate. So the hope
So,
is that some
For
of that
those of you
alcohol
that are
comes
drinking
off.
with us, and if you're not drinking Weller 107, we understand. It's equally tough to get a hold of. So
Right.
for whatever you're drinking with us tonight, if you're drinking an alcoholic beverage, as you swirl it around in your glass, you're going to notice something that happens, which is the alcohol will start streaking down your glass. So while
The legs.
The legs.
the beverage, you get the alcohol streaking, which is called legs. Yeah.
I don't know if you can.
Um,
can you
and
see
so
this?
in the Weller
Shit.
Special Reserve,
I
the
just
legs
spilled this in the laptop.
alcohol abuse. Jesus Christ.
You know what? We're just
Still
gonna.
running.
I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm just gonna roll with it.
Right. So,
So
see if we can see the legs.
in those Special Reserve, they were.
You can't see the legs. You can't see it.
I thought it was a 4K camera.
It is,
I thought
but
this
you
was
can't see the
professional
legs on
grade
there.
Camera.
But the legs in this,
I can see the dimples in my
They're
face.
much
It's
closer
true. See when I pick my nose too, but you can't see the legs on the glass. Sorry,
together.
BJ.
Drink it. Cheers. Cheers.
All right, let's drink it. Cheers, gentlemen. Cheers out there. Cheers if you're drinking it with us. Fuck. Let's drink this. Woo!
Little punch.
It's got a kick. It's got a kick. But I like the kick. It's not an overpowering kick. So, you know, I'm going to preface for those that caught like our first 20 minutes of the shit show Smoke Wagon show. I was like, whoa, this is too much alcohol, too much ethanol.
Which one?
I'm not doing it.
Which one though? The uncut.
The
Unfiltered?
uncut. Yeah, I thought it was like way too much of a punch.
That one
This
was.
this has like a baby punch. This is where a little guy with baby legs walked up to me with his baby arms and like did a little baby punch, and I was like, I can deal with that. I'm okay with that. Michael Brown says 720p ain't 4K, my friend. You're absolutely right. I just need to hire you. I know. I just maybe you can be our professional videographer for streaming. Let's chat after the show. Michael Brown.
Are you choking over there, BJ?
Um,
Is it a little hot?
I'm trying to sit here and appreciate. I mean, when they say it's big, full bodied, and it's got a full flavor profile, I think one of the things that I'm finding in this is that the barrel char that this sat in was really high. I'm getting that acrid charcoal, acrid meaning bitter, that kind of bitter charcoal, very earthy flavor profile that I think comes with like carcinogens and carbon and burnt.
You know what? I'm tasting the same thing, like the alligator char, right? Like the very there's a lot of carbon in it.
I'm getting that. In my second, my first was a big shock to my palate. I got a lot of the ethanol. It was a kick. My second taste was I got a lot of that charcoal flavor. I'm going in for my third here.
So what?
Really quick, Tim C in the chat says Maker's Mark, paired with a Romeo e Julieta Cedros Deluxe over here. So he's got his big bad cigar with his Maker's Mark. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll drink Maker's Mark any day. People may want to shit on that, but
Nope, it's a solid.
Buddy.
Solid.
Timmy, I'm right there with you, bud.
We'll definitely
Cheers to Maker's Mark.
We'll have a Maker's Mark
Cheers,
show.
we'll have a Maker's
Hey,
Mark
that's a
day.
great idea.
That is, because there's a lot of Maker's Marks out there that
Totally
we can
easy
get.
to find.
We can get like 5 Maker's Marks bottles for under $100 total.
Easy.
Like different.
We should do a blind maker's test. Tasting test.
Oh,
We set ourselves.
that's
up
a good
with all the
idea.
different makers, and then we rank them, and then we slowly unveil and be like, okay, what do we like?
Dude,
Oh,
that's
this
brilliant.
is-
There we go.
So I think that
There's
there's
2 shows tonight.
dude, there's two show ideas we just conceptualized.
I like it.
I think that so we can go buy literally. There's like 4 or 5 different styles of makers. We'll buy them all under $100. We will blind taste them and rank them.
Yeah,
Oh, it's such a good idea.
There we go. What do you-
Another show idea. That's
Good job,
so
B-
good.
good job, BJ. Good job on that.
And Tim, thanks, bud. That's you helped us out with that one. So, okay, I know you guys are kind of going on and on and on about whatever you're thinking this smells like, but
so what about this palette? What do you guys think? So, like, I'm doing a review. I'm looking at reviews on the internet, and
Why should do that?
yeah,
And
don't do
I
that.
see-
Stop. Hold on a second.
That's people just crap.
Hold on.
This.
I haven't said my review. Like both you guys have went through yours.
well, no,
so
this is a like a palette describer. It's not really a.
I don't want to hear
review.
it. Let me say mine first here, please. So I still get a little. I get a bit of like that special reserve sweetness, and what I mean by that, like I still get a little bit of that melon. Like I get like right on the top, like the first thing you smell is melon,
So, are you thinking special reserve with higher proof?
but then I get spice. Then it gets spicy, and then
What about a cherry flavor? No.
can you let me fucking talk about what I fucking smell? Then you can talk about what you smell and taste.
Go on.
Thank you.
So,
So
apologies for giving us.
thank you.
For giving us a
you,
please.
Thank you. Thank you. So you actually, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there with the cherry,
Little cherry in there.
like a burnt cherry,
Black cherry.
Cheers. Like a
Boom.
burnt. I get
what I was thinking.
like a
And-
burnt, like a cherry.
And what I thought of, right? And you and
That's
you
a
actually
good call.
and you actually
Cherry's a good call.
and you actually and the reason why I smell that, all right, is because of the Luxardo cherries.
Yes,
That's what
it's
I'm thinking.
very similar. So for those that don't know, if you're ever to garnish a cocktail with a cherry, never buy those dog shit maraschino cherries out there.
Yeah, they're a
Go
black.
to your local liquor store and get a Luxardo cherry. They're dried and made, grown in Italy, and they're amazing. And he's right.
By the same company, they also do a hibiscus flower that is fantastic for your tiki beverages.
Hibiscus. Interesting.
Yeah, they do a hibiscus flower in almost the exact same way. It is delightful. I highly recommend it.
So what I'm getting from 107, so the official James assessment is that I'm getting, it's like a spicy cherry. I'm getting a spicy oak barrel, like that oak cherry flavor with a little bit of heat. And I love it. I think this is really good. I think this is really good. Here's the problem, like they're both Wellers. We have Special Reserve and 107. I honestly don't know that you can compare the two because I think they're totally different
I agree. They're
flavor profiles.
Absolutely. And it's not like sorry, I keep going back to Elijah Craig because
No,
it's
that's
a good-
fine. That's fine.
it's a
That's
good-
fine.
It's
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
comparison because
Yeah.
you had small batch versus barrel proof, right? Small batch, like barrel proof was like the big brother of small batch. It's the more concentrated version of it. It
Yeah.
seems, but like this Weller, like the Special Reserve versus the Antique 107, they're two completely different bourbons.
Very light. Special Reserve, very light, very melon, very buttery.
Yeah.
107, black cherry, spice, the punch,
Yeah.
the alcohol kick. Totally different. Like, draw the line in the sand right there.
But again, like the first taste of it, the first initial experience of it is going to be a big ethanol punch.
I
to
almost
the
don't
mouth.
want to cut it, though. I don't want to cut it. I know we have to, and that's kind of
It
part of the
tastes
show.
It tastes so good.
I do want to cut it. I got to tell you, I appreciate the cherry flavor. It's giving me a better appreciation for what we're drinking. But I right now, if we had to rate this, I'd give it 4.
Wow.
Not a
so
fan.
I'd give it like an 8.5 right now.
Yeah, this isn't doing it for me.
Okay, no, and that's fair. That's everybody's gonna have a different opinion, and that's what I and I think that's like a part, like, it's kind of like part of the reason. Hold on, part of the reason behind our show. I want to have us three. I believe we all three have varying like flavor profiles of stuff that we like and what we don't like, and we can like talk to the people, we can talk to the audience and say, guys, don't fucking go off your GQ top 10 must-have bourbons of the year or whatever dumb dog shit websites. Like, join us here on YouTube. What, you know, we're gonna take, you know, reviews of whatever you guys like want us to try. We're gonna try them, and then we're gonna tell you guys what we really think. And I think us three have varying palettes of stuff we like and don't like.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I just cut this, and I think I'm gonna regret tasting it. But BJ, I cut you off, so you go ahead, bud.
So
Whatever you have to say.
I'm gonna taste.
No, you didn't cut me off. You said exactly. That was perfect. I mean, that was 100% correct. I wouldn't have said anything different. I'm gonna cut mine.
What's it like cut? What do you think? Better?
So good.
Okay. So
God.
how about this? You know, before we rate it, I think we pre-rated it. Okay. So
No, I don't know that you can. I know what you're getting at, but I don't think we should do that because I think with a rating, it needs to be cut with water and then not cut with water, and it needs to be your overall global
that's what I was
global
thinking.
taste.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So so you have it pre-cut.
Yeah.
You have your opinion, and then the after cut, and then the overall.
Wow.
See,
Did it blow up?
look at. See, I think this tastes fantastic. Cut.
All right. So we went from a 4.5 to.
Yeah. So did that 4.5 dog shit rating change over there?
Yeah, it almost doubled.
All right. So
Yeah.
BJ,
No, and-
BJ likes it with water.
No, and I'll be honest with you, I cut it too, and it's spectacular now. Try
Haven't
it.
had it.
Try
I
it.
mean, it's so good. Now, this is
That-
a
okay.
bourbon.
So let me say something real quick.
Woof.
So with the so prior to cut, very condensed, very.
Would you say muted because of the heat?
The heat took over a lot of flavors.
So it was
But-
a little muted.
Yeah, a little bit, but I could still
Great.
taste the cinnamon. Still could taste the that black cherry or that what do you
Black
call it?
cherry spice,
yeah.
oak.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So all of that concentrated flavor, right?
Yep.
So you put in a capful of water, and a capful is not very big.
Yeah, a cap full of bottled water.
Yeah, the complexity of that opens up, right? And it makes it so you can pick out the different flavors. Maybe that was one of those things where, you know, if you have it before water, you can't really pick it out because of the ethanol and because of like the thickness of it. But now, it's a different bourbon.
Dude, I'm getting like
It's a different bourbon.
like
no?
I'm getting like bananas Foster and like
I was just gonna say that bananas. I get a banana flavor.
Yeah.
So caramelized
yes,
and sweet.
bananas Foster. Like
It's great.
Interesting. How a bourbon can go from cinnamon, Luxardo cherry to
bananas.
Foster. What the hell?
I mean, yeah, no, it's
But very cool though. Awesome.
totally doubled my
I'll be honest with you.
this is great.
I prefer this cut. I think this
100%.
like if so with it being cut, if someone gave me, you know, I go up to a bar, and this is what I recommend all of our viewers do. If you can go to like some high-end bar, or you go out to dinner, you take the girl, the guy out to dinner, and you sit at the bar and you're like, I want a whiskey, I want a bourbon. They have 107 on the menu. Holy shit, it's $20 a pour. And you know,
Worth it.
kind of the macho opinion is, oh, give it to me neat. I'm gonna tell you right now. Get it with a cube, 1 cube of ice. You won't regret it. I think I think the consensus between us three is it tastes better cut.
Yeah. Well, any good bartender will give you a pour for you neat, and then give you a glass with a cube in it.
Well, good luck finding a bar with that.
So what's cool about that? So like you get 1 cube, right? The the bourbon will change over time as
will.
you drink it. As
Yes.
you drink it, so you're not necessarily pouring water into it and it changes immediately like we just did.
We got really quick. We got a little bit of the chat. One of our chatters says, "Don't have any pappies, but having some Woodford Reserve with you guys."
Excellent.
We love Woodford Reserve.
We
So
there's another show idea.
another
Boom.
show, another Woodford show, because I got to tell you, Woodford Reserve over the past couple years have come out with so many different types of like Woodford. So not only do they have like the standard Woodford Reserve bourbon, but they now do like a special like Derby edition for like the Kentucky Derby, because mint julep is the drink of choice at the Kentucky Derby. And they do like a special Woodford Reserve just for that julep. So I'd like to do that. And then, hold up, wait a minute. They do double oaked Woodford Reserved, which is, next level Woodford Reserve. And then they do double oaked. I don't even know how many.
Guys, hang on, I'll be right back. Okay?
Yeah, you got dogs barking. You got a lot of shit going
I
on.
got a delivery. Hold on.
All right. So YouTube, they just left me with like completely solo with you guys. This is a little nerve-wracking. So anyway, back to the Woodford comment. We'll do a Woodford show. So we'll do regular Woodford. I want to do the mint julep Woodford, the double oaked Woodford, the double oaked Woodford. Yeah, and there you have it. Thankfully, Zach's back, and I'm not riding this show solo. And yeah, we'll let you guys know. We'll definitely do that
Where
because
did BJ have to go to?
he had to go. He had like a delivery. His fucking R2D2 shit on his phone, and his doorbell was ringing, and his dogs were barking, and he ran away. And he said he'll be right back. Some calamity. Anyway, so Antique 107 cut, dude, is bomb. Like this is so good.
I'm a fan. I like it. I like it both ways. I like it both ways.
Yeah, so
because
I agree with you. Yeah,
it's got two completely different flavors. Like
Yep.
Prior to cut, very cinnamon,
Black
very
cherry cinnamon bomb.
Yeah, Luxardo cherry.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
So now it's opened up again into honeydew, like Melanie.
Way more palatable, like approachable, like easy drinker. Like I think 107, you just get that one like Cuba ice or that ice sphere if you have in your freezer.
Right.
Pour a little bit of 107. Go get in your pool. Go in your backyard and hang out in the backyard. Catch some sun. That's the winner. That's the winner of the night. Like
if you,
So good.
what would you say to a person that says that they drink their whiskey on ice and that's it, whiskey on the rocks and that's it,
so. Hold on.
and that's the only way they like it. They've never tried it any other way, right? Not necessarily. They've tried it neat and they don't like it, but they've only tried it on the rocks.
My follow-up question is, what kind of whiskey are they drinking? And 9 out of 10 times, these are the people that are drinking the Dewar's, the Cutty Sark, the Canadian Club, the Crown Royal. You got to pull that crowd into this crowd,
I see.
which it's not easy. It's not easy. Like if you I'm going to use a prime example of my brother, 21-year-old Marine, hoorah, out in Hawaii. Hey, Miggy, what's going on? Like, I see him, like, they're pounding, like...
Would you like another?
Yeah, I actually do want another 107. The people that are drinking, like, standard party... You know what? You all know. Like, all the listeners know. What's that standard party, like... Dewar's, Cutty Sark.
Sometimes say just Jack Daniels.
Yeah, Jack Daniels, like...
I mean, it seems that, for me at least, right? Like, it took me a while to get into drinking whiskey and bourbon.
Really quick, I'm cutting this immediately.
I'm going to stay without the cut
Okay,
initially, just so I get the two flavors again.
fair.
Um,
What were you saying?
but with the whiskey and the rocks versus drinking whiskey neat. It's try it neat.
Yeah.
Try your whiskey on the rocks neat. Just see what what the flavor is like, what the difference is between rocks and neat. You may not like it. Who knows?
Hold on there, BJ. Welcome back, bud.
Welcome back, BJ.
My groceries weren't supposed to be delivered until like 9 o'clock tonight, but they're here 2 hours early, which is exciting.
Wow,
So
look at
thank you.
that. All right. So you get to eat tonight. Very good. So Zach Dial doesn't have to bring you food.
I was gonna call and ask you to bring me food anyways.
And I would have, my friend.
So continue. Hold on. Zach was kind of going on about the. We re-poured. We re-poured another pour 107.
Well, I don't blame you. I'd re-pour too. This is fantastic.
And I actually immediately cut mine, but he didn't.
Yeah, I'm
I don't know
gonna.
what's wrong with you.
No, I'm gonna go back to the the flavor that we had beforehand, just so I could re-experience. Luxardo cherry cinnamon.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna smell it.
Absolutely, take a drink if you like.
It's totally different. It's seriously like the cut.
It's so bitter, like uncut.
Smell
it's
that.
just to me, it's so bitter and
It's
acrid.
totally different.
Definitely,
Yeah.
totally concentrated, and then opens up.
Yeah.
I agree. But BJ, we were talking about people that drink whiskey on the rocks, right?
Yeah.
Versus whiskey neat, right? So, moving from whiskey rocks to whiskey neat, or bourbon rocks, bourbon neat, whatever,
Yeah. Okay.
right? We were just kind of talking. We said, if you like your your drink of choice on the rocks, try it neat. It will educate you and let you kind of know that your drink of choice has a lot more flavors that are definitely being muted by those by those ice cubes that you've never really experienced before, right? Unless you're drinking
Sure,
unless you're drinking for effect. I don't know.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why people drink whiskey on the rocks.
Maybe. Yeah.
Drink for effect because that makes you feel good. Who knows?
The
Right.
first thing I 100% agree with you there, Zach. And for those of you who are living under the stigma of other people judging you because you're adding a couple of ice cubes to your bourbon, your whiskey, your brandy, or because you think they're going to yell at you and be like, "Oh, that's not how you appreciate a good spirit." Screw them. Listen, it's your money. It's your palate. Like, this is something you're supposed to enjoy.
Right.
Agreed.
Enjoy it.
But then also at the same time, explore different ways to drink your favorite beverage.
Totally.
If you like it on the rocks, drink it on the rocks. But then also drink it neat. And then, like BJ said, drink it with a cube or two and see how it changes.
Yeah.
See how you appreciate it more in a different way. Don't be afraid of it. We always say when we first pour our bourbon, right, it's got a big ethanol punch to it, right?
And
All the time.
ethanol is like that alcohol heat, that alcoholic kick.
Exactly. And when people think of, a lot of people think of like drinking bourbon and thinking of, like hard alcohol. They think, oh, I got to shoot it, I got to drink it, and then that's
they
it.
gotta shoot it.
Yeah, and it tastes like shit, and everyone makes a nasty face, right?
Yeah, they drink for
But
effect.
that's what's good about it, guys. It's hair on your chest.
Ah.
It's supposed to taste terrible.
Right, yeah. Try it real slow. Try it for a little bit and see if you can expand your palate. Think of the first time you drank a beer. Maybe you didn't like it, but then afterwards you enjoyed that beer.
Yeah.
And then moving into like wine or like hard spirits like this. Like bourbon. Bourbon's great, and once you're able to get past that ethanol wall, right, where people go, you can really learn to understand and appreciate, your drink of choice. When it comes to Weller, great, love it.
Yeah,
Cinnamon, Luxardo cherry,
exactly.
and then moves into
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm in a really good spot right now. Like
Yeah.
I've had this. I just pounded. I just
Yeah, you
finished.
just slammed that.
I gotta tell you, like
I've had
So-
one drink and
So hold on.
plowed through his.
Yeah, I plowed through it. So here's what we're gonna do. Rad Pack Finest. We're going to rate our Antique 107 Weller rating, and I want to start. I'm gonna start. All right, 1 to 10. What did I give Special Reserve? I gave it pretty dog shit. I gave it what?
No, you said 7.
6.5.
Oh, 6.5.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I guess.
No, I stick to that. Fuck you, Special Reserve.
Wow.
Antique 107, a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9. And I don't know why, but dude, when I add a little bit of water, it's life changing. Like it's so good. It's so good. Like I want to keep drinking it. Like I'm ready to pour another one, add a little bit of water, and keep drinking. And to me, that means that I like it. That adds to my rating. It gets a 9. Antique 107 Weller. Bomb diggity right there.
Yeah.
So
9.
So let me ask you. Yes.
What?
You. Okay. So you go to a bar.
Yep.
And you see Antique 107 on the shelf.
Okay.
How do you order it? Do you order it neat, or do you order it in a glass with a cube, or cut with water?
I would say to the bartender this. I would say, bartender, I'll take your Weller Antique 107 ice, like just 1 or 2 cubes. I would add, because here's the thing. Based on what kind of bar you go to, then this is for the viewers. They will give you like a whiskey cube of ice. Like you can get a cube of ice, or you get just like fucking ice. Like a fucking
Yeah.
pitchfork or a fucking scoop of ice into your cup.
Whatever's like chilling the beer
Yeah.
glasses.
So I don't want like
like
I don't
a whiskey ice. Right?
Yeah,
Like a
I
whiskey
want
cube.
like a cube. If they could do like a sphere.
So you wouldn't say you wouldn't say ice, a cube. You'd say 2 cubes.
I would first ask about their ice situation. I'd be like, do you guys do cubes? Do you guys do like just fucking tap ice? Like,
Right.
do they just have a fucking thing of ice in the back and they just...
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me about your ICE program?
No, I'm not that pretentious. Go fuck off. So I would say, you know, give it to me neat, and then if I could have a glass of ice on the side, I could then add it myself. Is that fair?
You can say that. You can do that. You can do that.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, if this bartender plays his fucking cards right, I'm still going to tip him more than any other fucking jamoke that's going to tip him on this fucking
Right.
bar for the night anyway. So, you know,
But you said that. So you said that you enjoy it
cut. I loved it.
No matter
cut,
what,
dude.
right?
Loved it.
So your
hold on, hold on.
Your ideal drink would be this
With a little bit of ice.
with a cube. So it can melt over time. You can get the taste
Yeah.
of this neat.
One
It gets
cube.
colder and then it dissolves.
Like
and then,
107 with 1 cube of ice, like a nice big sphere. God, I just put me by the pool with a big
Perfecto.
fucking cigar. I'm there all day.
What would you smoke? What do you think you would smoke with this? I don't know. I'm
not a big cigar guy, but I do like a Rocky Patel or like a Romeo and Julieta. I mean, there's some people were talking about in the chat.
Okay.
Macanudo.
Yeah, a Mac. I'm all about a Mac.
I know nothing about cigars, so like
yeah.
I'm going off of your
Just like
you and BJ's,
but not like a
expertise.
punch. Like I don't want like a super peppery punch you in the face cigar. I just want like a mellow, light.
So my favorite thing, yeah,
We reconnected.
my favorite
Monte Cristo number 2. Tim just said, "Yeah, Timmy." Like, dude, hell, yeah, is what I'm gonna say, dude. Monte Cristo all the way, dude.
So my favorite thing is, so number 1, my first recommendation is James, pour yourself another. And number 2 is that when I said, excuse me, sir, can you tell me about your ICE program?
Hold on a
I
second,
only
Tim,
saw the top
Timmy,
of the
Timmy,
shelf,
Tim,
and
Tim
all
C.
said,
Hold
this
on,
thing popped up and it said, what could go wrong?
hold
I
on,
was
hold
like,
on.
Exactly right.
Tim C. I need you to hold on to that box of Macanudos, and when you're ready to come to Oklahoma to Vegas for some like couple days off, I got you in Vegas. You need to hit me up outside of the show. We'll plan something. We'll bring you on the show. We'll smoke these Macanudos and we'll drink whatever with Tim.
A Mac is a good smoke.
So Tim, what goes good with the Macanudo? I mean, normally you say this drink goes good.
So
well.
Macanudo cafes, I think, kind of have like that creamy, like cafe au lait,
coffee.
like that coffee. So that we need to plan a show. Tim, we're going to talk to you after the show, bud. That's a good idea. All right, I'm sorry, BJ. What were you saying about your rambling about me pouring another one? Go fuck yourself.
Just pour it.
No, because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to pour another one. I want to drink a beer with Zach after the show, which we were supposed to call the show at 7:30.
Should we do another? What do you think about doing another presentation of
Zach, what's your rating?
the old fashioned? Huh?
I don't want to bust out an old fashioned. If we had like double the viewers, I would do my old fashioned thing here. But we only have like 28 people watching the stream right now.
That is pretty decent.
Yeah.
You know,
That's fantastic.
That's better
Thank you,
than-
28 people.
we love you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I
people.
was supposed to say that, but yeah, no, we got a pretty good viewing. I'm excited. We got a pretty good viewing.
It's up from 3. Like
Yeah,
weeks
yeah.
ago.
Our original Twitch viewing, we had like 3 for the first 2 hours. So
I think we're doing much better on YouTube.
no, YouTube is definitely better. Yeah, no, YouTube has treated us right. Shout out to YouTube. We would love your monetization.
Yeah.
YouTube definitely is.
Everyone's got the YouTube app too. Not
Yeah.
everyone's got the Twitch app. I mean, YouTube. Heck
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
And here's the thing, like all of our viewers, like I'm sure like are used to YouTube. They can jump on our show. Like what's awesome is that YouTube developed this like live streaming like episode viewing thing. So like they can watch us live and we can easily record the episode on our channel. So I'm all about that. I think that's really cool. We're to keep doing it. Every Thursdays we'll have our show.
This is a special show because we had technical difficulties on Thursday.
Right. This is our makeup show, but you know, good times.
Very good times. Whoa!
BJ, what was your comment? What did you have to make?
Zach, what's your rating?
Oh!
Oh yeah, you still gotta give your 107 rating.
We're gonna be official. Okay. So,
All right.
So I said the Weller Special Reserve was a 7 out of 10. The Antique 107, I will give that an 8.5.
8.5.
And very equal to that of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. I mean,
Hold on. You're saying that your 107 is basically head to head with Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
I would say, yeah, definitely. And the reason, but you know, at the same time, they're two completely different flavors, two completely different experiences, right?
Do you want to go into it a little bit?
So like the Elijah Craig had different the taste of it.
Open it up
was,
and smell it if you want to. Maybe you get a little reminder.
Let's go back.
Yeah, I think it helps. Am I right, BJ? Like
There's a lot more spice to it, a lot more.
Yeah, no, it does help.
Hang on, let's do a little side by side.
Oh, he's doing a little side by side here with the Barrel Proof,
Elijah Craig comes through a lot.
doesn't it? It's so good.
It's a solid pick, and it's much easier to pick up, folks.
Yes.
Elijah Craig. If you missed our Elijah Craig show, please go
Seriously,
Hold on.
just-
Before you say anything, Elijah Craig, to the entire audience, go out there and buy a bottle of anything you can get your hands on. If you can find an Elijah Craig, put it up one more time. If you can find an Elijah Craig barrel proof, please, it's $70. Go buy immediately if you're a bourbon whiskey fan.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. I think from this point forward, we're going to compare every whiskey and bourbon we drink to Elijah Craig. And it gets such a bad rap because it's grandpa's whiskey.
very true. Very true.
And because it's grandpa's whiskey.
Very true. Very true.
And it's stellar. It is stellar.
Yeah,
It is so good. It is so good.
It's kind of funny. The other weekend, I went to a friend's birthday party, and I was talking to another friend about bourbon, right?
Yeah.
And I said, "What do you think about Elijah Craig?" And he says, "I love Elijah Craig." And I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of people that are behind Craig. They're going to be like, "Well, my grandpa drinks that." Really?
Well, yeah,
Old
that's a good
shit.
point. Oh, yeah, old school fucking grandpa drinks it.
Yeah.
Grandpa was right. All
Yeah.
right?
Grandpa was 100%
Experience-
right.
experience
Exactly.
here.
Because I'm going to tell you guys right now, like, we went through Weller tonight, but I'm comparing our Elijah Craig episode. I'm having a tough time. I'm having a tough time going. If I had to do head to head, it would be tough. So here's what I envision. Drum roll, another episode idea. We do maybe like 2 or 3 of what we consider our favorite whiskeys compared to Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
Yeah.
And then
I like that.
that's like blind taste them. And we'll see who's the winner.
Yeah, I agree. All right, I'm going to jump on and give you my rating here.
Here we go, bud.
So, straight out of the bottle, yeah, 4.5.
Didn't like it.
Whoa. Hold on. Straight out of the bottle, Weller Antique 107, you give 4.5?
Correct.
Wow.
It's just not. I don't like that. That's the kind of burning, acrid, bitter. It's just not my flavor profile. But adding that water, cutting it, that rounds it out, opens up that flavor profile. Almost no bitterness. Really brings out that sweetness. I think it brought out this wonderful, fresh baked bread, roundness, happiness, great honey. I really, really liked it. I got a lot more of that cherry. So I'm going to give it a 8.5.
Wow.
Solid pickup.
After the cut.
After the cut.
A cap full of water, 4 points, in my opinion.
So
It's nuts. It's nuts. It really is.
So BJ,
Yeah.
can I ask you this question? Right?
Sure, yeah. Ask
So-
anything you want.
So with the Elijah Craig, I know it's funny we go back to it because it was just a great episode. I really loved that episode, and I really love Elijah Craig proof. Right?
Okay.
Small batch versus barrel proof. Barrel proof was the concentrated version of small batch, right? You got a lot of the same flavors between the two bottles, right?
Yeah.
Going from 107 to Special Reserve, did you have the same experience? Because you said that you had, some premonitions of honeydew and kind of like a melon flavor, where we said that same thing about the Special Reserve.
So no, I don't think so. I think that Special Reserve is its own thing, and I appreciate Special Reserve for what it is. I think that the Antique 107 is definitely its own thing. I definitely do. I'll pick up on some of that honey and some of that sweetness. I think it's a much more spiced bourbon. I think there's a lot more spice notes to it. I think it's a much more aggressive bourbon.
Oh, totally.
But,
I agree.
But I think that adding the water, rounding it out, makes it much more enjoyable. and it makes it something that I'd be willing to go back and drink again. It makes it special, but it's not a daily drinker to me, and it's not something I think I would even have at my bar. If I saw it and it was the right pickup price, I'd probably pick it up, but I'm not sure I'd go out of my way to hunt for it.
So I asked this question to James, right? You have a hankering for Antique 107, right?
Sure.
And you decide that you want to drink that bourbon at that bar at that time, right?
Yeah.
How do you order it?
I'm going to order it straight up, and I'm going to ask for water on the side with a spoon.
Excellent. Okay, so you would cut it straight up with water. James says he would do a cube.
A cube on the rocks? Absolutely.
I would say, I will ask the question to myself. I would keep it neat.
Wow.
Yeah,
All right,
I would keep it. I would keep it neat.
Wow.
I really did enjoy it. It was
Hold
awesome.
on. But put it face to face with Barrel Proof.
Ooh, those are two different flavors. Very different flavors.
That's another show. That's a third show.
That would be. That is a great idea.
Yeah.
Weller 107 versus Elijah
Yep,
Craig
yep.
Barrel Proof. What are the flavors? What are the differences? What do you like better?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, that kind of puts us at the hour and a half, at actually an hour 0.75. I'm going to call it for tonight. I think we had a fantastic show.
I think so too.
We had a
Yeah.
hell of a lot of fun with you guys.
We had a lot of fun. This was great. We had
always have fun.
Yeah, we had a great showing tonight, actually, BJ, and we're going to call you after and kind of talk about the post-show discussion.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it.
And everybody that joined us, we appreciate it. We appreciate your follows, and we don't know. We don't know what we're going to do next week, so we're going to play it by ear.
Well,
So that's
we
it.
will put. Well, we're going to post that. We're going to post that somewhere on the website. Right?
Yes, follow us on thebarrelbuddies.com.
Yep.
You can follow us on Twitter at The Barrel Buds. You can follow us on Facebook at The Barrel Buddies. You can follow us on... We're on all
Insta?
social media.
Yeah, and we're gonna
Instagram at The Barrel Buddies.
develop we're gonna get maybe a vlog going, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Where,
So go to...
where
go-
where we say, hey, so what do you guys want to see?
Right.
You know, we'll talk
do
about that.
some voting. We'll do a little bit of polls.
Exactly. We're
so-
making the calls right now, but it'd be awesome.
Eventually, we'll throw it back to you guys. So-
Exactly. We're working on it. Everything's under construction. But thank you for your views.
thebarrelbuddies.com. Join us. Join on our mailing list. We appreciate
Sure.
all of you.
Live on YouTube.
And that was it. This is basically, let's call our official first YouTube official video finale.
Hell yeah. I love it.
Fantastic.
It
Hell
was
yeah.
great.
Yeah, we got some old things on
Yep.
Twitch.
It was great.
This is
Our old stream was on Twitch, but no, we had a lot more viewers on YouTube. So
Well,
we
yeah,
appreciate-
they're posted on YouTube. The older version.
Yes,
The older episodes.
we will post everything here. So we appreciate all of
From
you.
here on out. YouTube,
Thank-
rock it out.
Thank you for joining us, and have a great night, everybody.
See you on Thursday, guys. Thanks.
Bourbon up.
Bye
Bourbon up.
bye.